Heiko Heybey is up early, planning the menu for the day in his restaurant. Aside from running a restaurant, Heiko is also an architect. He was looking for a new office space 10 years ago when he stumbled across a former furniture store called Spandau. He came up with the idea to open a restaurant, keeping the original name. His experiment has been a big hit.
Welcome to my hometown, Hanover. There are many reasons why I like to live here. It's a colorful and beautiful city with a lot of nice and relaxed people living in. And there are great parks and recreation areas where you can go to. I want to give you some tips for your trip to Hanover, and here's one for early birds.
Heiko takes us to the flea market along the banks of the Linden River. Positioned between the Nanas sculptures, sellers open their stands at 7 in the morning. All sorts of interesting trinkets and souvenirs can be had here for the right price.
I'd say €1.35.
I'll take 140.
Okay, it's a deal.
This flea market is the most beautiful in Hanover. It's along the riverside of Linden, and you can find here all nice pieces, furnitures, rare pieces of records or presents, and you always meet nice people to talk with. And if the sun is shining like today, it's one of the most beautiful places to come.
Now that we've seen the flea market, Heiko takes us on a stroll through Hanover's Linden neighborhood. In the 19th century, this was a working-class district. Today, it's a colorful, multicultural part of the city. Saturdays are market days here, and from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., you can find everything your heart desires. Heiko says the market is a great way to get to know the people in the neighborhood, and it's his second tip.
If you want to have an impression of Hanover lifestyle, you have to come to the market in Linden. Here you can find any kind of fresh local food, or just sit down, drink a nice coffee, and watch the people going by.
It's not hard to tell that the locals here like to relax and have a good time. Heiko's last tip transports us to different countries and new worlds. We're off to Hanover's Adventure Zoo. Today, Heiko wants to show us the Canadian region of the zoo and the unique treat visitors can find here. His son Linus is happy to come along.
There are two things you definitely need if you live in Hanover. One yearly ticket for the Hanover soccer team, Hannover 96, and the year card for the zoo. The zoo is a special zoo because the animals live more or less in the natural surroundings. There are theme parks like the African area, the Asian area, and the Australian area, and also Canada. And in Canada, of course, there live ice bears. And one of the highlights here is the feeding of the ice bear, also for me and my son.
The Yukon Bay is the zoo's newest attraction. The 22,000 square meter space is outfitted with a gold mining town, a stretch of river, and a bay. But it's the chance to watch the feeding of the animals that draws in visitors.
Oh, jetzt springt er rein. Jetzt, da ist der Fisch.
You can experience the polar bears up close and personal, above and underwater. It's one of the few zoos in the world to offer the experience. An exciting day in Hanover draws to a close.